Go.
So you're building a computer, and you can't decide which CPU to get. There are so many numbers and names, and honestly, it's all quite overwhelming. Today, I'll be explaining why I think going AMD has never been a better option, and why they are my choice for the best CPU currently. But first, let's talk about what a CPU is, and what that means for you as a buyer. CPUs, or central processing units, are the centerpiece of PCs. Whether it's a Walmart laptop or an industrial machine, a CPU gives the computer its identity. The CPU is like the brain. It determines the heft of workloads that a machine can handle. For instance, a Walmart machine with a weak CPU will have a shorter lifespan. It'll be far slower and a generally less overall experience. Now, since 1995, AMD, or Team Red, has been battling Intel, or Team Blue, for market share. Having been the inventor, Intel has always been the strongest and has made many small improvements with every new generation of chip, while AMD gets sent to the drawing board time and time again to attempt and catch up. Because of this, AMD was forced to try and take the low end, or the budget end, of the consumer market. However, this failing company had one last trick up its sleeve, and AMD gained the attention of market buyers as they braced for a 2020 underdog victory. And to me, they absolutely won. Now, launching on November 8th, Zen 3 sold out in seconds across the globe, and it shocked users with a giant 19% overall improvements across the board and smashed Intel's normal 5% jumps in generations. Now, coupled with this, these new chips consumed less power than their predecessors and far less than Intel's, so users won't be straining their existing computer. However, with these vast improvements came the dreaded $50 price jump. Now, here's where I back up my previous claims of Zen 3 greatness and show you why this CPU is worth the cash. Now, there are about a dozen factors that decide the worth of a CPU, but the most notable and well-known of these are the cores. In layman's terms, cores can drastically improve your experience by enabling you to perform high-intensity tasks quickly and efficiently, while also allowing you to have more applications open at once. On the screen here, you can see 4 cores inside one CPU. These cores would work together to create better products on bigger workloads. Now, for reference, AMD's new CPU floor starts at 6 cores with $300, while Intel's 6 core, while also being at $300, doesn't even come close to the performance of this 6 core. AMD's 6 core has the same performance as Intel's 10 core, even though it's $200 less. AMD's 8 core for $450 is slightly more expensive than Intel's option, but as with the 6 core, is greatly improved over Intel's product. Now, for the next product in both teams' lineups, it's a little bit more complicated. AMD chose to go with a 12-core processor, something that has been relatively unheard of in the PC space, for only $50 more than Intel. Intel, with their 10-core, doesn't even come close to this 12-core from AMD. And to put the icing on the cake, AMD released a 16-core for consumers, something that is just absolutely mind-blowing and nobody expected from AMD. Now, AMD has come a long way from nearly going bankrupt 5 years ago because of how bad their CPUs were. They have now stormed the high end of the market with many great options, and even their lowest chip can beat Intel's best for hundreds of dollars less. In my eyes, the extra money is well spent on a new AMD CPU, and I hope that you now feel the same.